Okay. Now, if you remember in the program, now by the way, I shouldn't really get an error. Yeah, I'm not getting an error. Going to the 8,000 and logging in and logging in. And I'm getting the deep billings application. And in the billings, we have customers. And if you see in the customers, we made a nice table. This is an excellent page as a starting to study Django. It has everything that you most likely will do. And here also I emphasize the list view and the case view, generally speaking. And this is really, please go over it 100 times. You won't regret it. You can create a new customer. You can view the customer. You can update changes data. You can delete, for example, if I want to delete this guy, he asked me to confirm, I'm confirming, it's gone. We want to do the same things in the billing application, like we have customers, we want to do for the items. Customers and items are very similar in their nature. I have a list of customers, I have a list of items. In the customer, we have their name. In the items, we have item name. We can add a new item, like we can add a new customer. We can delete, view. We would like to do the same things for customer, for items, as we did. So one thing we will need is really adding here to have items. So where do we put another link? Here we go, I go again. I go to the main page, I click on billing application. When I click on billing application, I have a click to customers. I would like to add another link to items. Who wants to help me out? Don't be afraid, please. Being wrong, it's the way to study. We have expression in Hebrew says, if you're shy, you cannot study. Okay? And being wrong, I'm always wrong. Am I right? Daniel, how many times you fixed my errors?
1,000.
All the time, isn't it? Daniel, yeah. How many times you fixed my errors today? So what?
More than 5 times.
Making mistake is the way you walk. If you don't make mistake, you don't learn. So what? So here we go. Help me out. Let me just try. I go to the templates. What do you think, Mark? Try it out. Should I go to the templates? Mark, go ahead. Don't be afraid. I just want to help you out. I want to encourage you to study. Don't be afraid. Go ahead. Let me see you. Yeah, your microphone. Yeah, Mark. What do you think?
Yeah, I'll go to the templates.
Beautiful. You're absolutely right. And we said, earlier is a design that we did, and it's very recommended as a best practice in Django, that every application will have a template. Under that, you put the name of the same application. You see, as we did. And there will be several templates. And as you work with us on bigger projects, you'll see a lot of templates. But for every application, we make a base template. Okay, like we did for, I think that to do, we should have one. That's a good idea to do. If I go to the to do, you go to the templates, you see we have this one, we have templates under it, but we also have a base to do. Every application we make for it the base. That's a good practice. Then he knows we did the same things in the application we did on the Fab House Africa website. Same things, real life application. So beautiful, you're absolutely right. So let's look at what is the best the billings has. And by the way, we always try that all the application, all the base, like this one, like this one, they are all, see I'm opening a second one, this one, all of them will extend the base. So we have one base for all the application. For every application, we do a base that extended, and then eventually for every page, let's say a customer list. We extend, we do some stuff, but we extend from the base of the billings. So templates that belong to the billings will extend the base of the billings. Templates of to-do will extend, let's say the index, it will extend the base of the to-do. And every base, so let me close a little bit one of those. Let's close this one. Let me close this one for now. And every base to do will extend the base. Base the billing will extend base. So what do I have in the base? Let's look at it. And where do we put it? Anybody wants to help me? Mark, good job. Anybody wants to help me?
Belinda?
Go ahead, Belinda. Go ahead. Belinda, where do we put the base? Here we go, I help you out. We don't put it in the applications because it's the whole project. It's for the whole project. That's why we have a template for under the project, not inside the applications. We put it outside. So when we put it outside, here is the base. This is the basic template that all the pages will inherit. Let's open it up. Go over it. Okay, Belinda? Okay. Let's see what we have in this one, by the way. It looks complicated, but it really isn't. We have a header with a lot of styling, links. I don't really care, okay, for now. I just know that I have a header. I also have a body. There is two big elements that we have in the base. Header and a body. And each one of them contain different things. The header, mostly meta like information. Google used it to make your web page found in their search engine and all of those stuff. But in addition to the meta, we have also links. Links are mostly for design styles. Remember when we want to highlight the header, and all of those are a lot of libraries. I don't really ask you to know what they do now. We'll get a little bit more in the next certificate, third certificate. I will even show you how you make your own and you save it in a static file. So that's, for now, just know that those links are designed to make the page look nice, to put colors, to put the animations to some extent, and a lot of other things, okay? That's the objective of that part. That's what we have in the header. One more thing, we have a block. This one we call a block, remember? And why we put a block? So when we go to the best debilling, we can change it. See, when we go to the base debilling, it's extending the base and it's changing the title. By the way, everybody remember what this title does? This one, basically, it's what we see here. You see the word billings?
Yes.
Okay, this is because we basically overridden it and we changed this template, this block. Inside we put the title. We changed it. If I didn't put it here, let's take it out for a second. Okay, and I'll refresh the page. See what will happen. Hey, it said base. Why does it say base? We know now why. Because in the base, that's what we want. If I don't want it to say base, I do want it to say debilling, really, because I'm in the debilling application. Something is for the best to do. When I go to the to-do application, I would like on the top to say to-do. Let's go to the to-do. I go to the to-do application, and you see it says to-do. And who does it? This part. Hopefully that's a good review for you, okay? Good. Let's move on. Let's go back to our billings application. And now I have a menu here. I have main, I have customers, and log off. By the way, where does this log off exist? Let's explore it. Let's explore the menu now. There really are 3 levels here, and I want you to be expert on all the 3 levels. So let's go over it. Okay? I go to the billings application. The billing applications, the base one is extending the base. So I go to the base, and by the way, we see here a very interesting block. It said block app toolbar. Toolbar is already telling me it's probably dealing with this one. Okay, so how does it work? Let's see. I go to the base, I'm done with the header, and now I'm getting to the body. In the body, there's a lot of things, okay? By the way, you can see there's a sidebar, the sidebar header, there's a lot of stuff. Let me see, let me click here, and let me click here. In fact, in the body, there is a lot of stuff. There is 2 elements, I will talk about them in a minute, and a lot of, by now, it's for certificate 2, this one slightly is familiar, not really 100%, but a lot of it, it's, this is really JavaScript. We haven't focused on JavaScript in certificate 1, so I'm not asking you to know it. But this one, it's really make a lot of animations, activating the slide bar, meaning when I click here, it's using JavaScript. You can do it many ways. JavaScript is a good one to use, okay? We have not learned that in this certificate. So it's not of my concern. What I would like you to know is how do I manipulate blocks? And here I want you to know how do I manipulate the toolbar. So let's go to the toolbar. And let's ignore this part. So I'm not going to talk about this part at all. I'm going only to talk about those 2 parts. By the way, this part deals with the sidebar. Everything's on the left side. Again, I didn't really focus on that. There's nothing special, really, nothing. So I'm not going to waste my time on that either. I'm going to talk about the right side. The right side, this is the content in which we have the toolbar and we have the content of the page itself. So I'm not spending time, not because it's not important, just because there's nothing special. And we will go over it, don't worry, in a lot of other examples. So we ending up. I'm going to close the sidebar. I'm going to focus on this one. Let's understand this one very good. By the way, the nav, it's a tag of HTML. Most likely, it's really most correctly to say it has to do with a bootstrap. It makes styling or making the bootstrap help me to look at that will make the menu look nice. And let's try to understand what do we have here. By the way, this is a button. If you see, I have a class inside icon. I it's for icon. And this is really the button that makes the toolbar, the sidebar to go. This is really this icon, by the way. Okay, this is this icon. So this icon, when I click on it, it makes it goes back and forth. So this is really that part. Okay, also not that crucial. When we learn JavaScript, we'll focus on that more. How do I connect to that? This is why we have an ID. We talk about that in the next certificate. about the ID, how do I find it, okay, and more and more. So this is really the button. What else do we have? This one, by the way, I make it to allow to really make sure that a person has logged in. If you don't log in, it will not let you use the program. That's why you have if user, if the user that trying to approach this page, is he authenticated? Is authenticated becomes to be true if he logged in. Again, a detail that I will go over in another time. What important it is this part, okay? All the other one, it's less important for me. This is the only one important for now, okay? What do we see here? UL, it's a list of items in HTML. And here I am putting really three levels. Level one, three blocks. Block one, block two. This is really a block three, but I don't really need a block because I'm putting the log off. When I click on the log off, it's going to go to the URL of the main application. Well, let's go and look at that. Application, main application. I'm going to the URLs. That's what it says here. Go to the URLs of the main application. Okay, I go there. What am I looking for? I ask you to look for log out. I look there. There is a function log out. Anybody find log out? Log out, log out, log out, log out. Anybody find log? Yeah, here it is. I look at it by the name. How does it do the log out? I don't really care for now. I just do want you to understand that this base code, this base HTML, it's the button we click on the log off. When I click on it, it will activate a function that I gave it to you. And don't waste your time even studying it. I forgot even how I did it, and I don't care. I know it works, and that's enough for me, okay? If I have to, I will go and restudy it again, but I can't remember so much, so I forgot about it. So this one is what you see here, write the log off. Everybody see that? This is the log off, okay? Then those two don't exist there. If you look at that, they don't exist there. There is only empty blocks, empty blocks. And those one we're going to use in the base of every application. When we go to the base, and the rest, I'm going to skip the rest, and I'm not going to ask you in the exam, okay? I'm not going to ask you for that one. That's later on, I will come back, I will explain this part. For now, this is really less important for me. I don't really care for now. This is really important for me that you understand that this is for the log off button. This one, it's very important, you know, those are blocks I'm going to use for every application and every page inside the application. So let's see. Where is this one exist in the best debugging? Oh, here we go. You see, I have app toolbar, and I have very similar to the logo, but this one I put a main. And again, when I click on the main, I want him to go to the URL of the main application, but this time go to the home. So again, I go to here, but this time I want him to go to here. And this one already, you should look, and it should be familiar. I do Control B. And you go to the page, and this one, I will go over it again, but basically it's activating this page. Let me take a break 1 second, okay? Sorry.
One second, so.
Okay, so we're back. This one basically activating this view. And again, to remind you, it's going to use this template, and we're going to look at that in a second. And it's sending to this one a variable called title. And the title, that variable title is really a variable only inside a template. It is not Python. It's not Python variable. It is a template variable. And I will use it inside here. And this one will show the main page. Okay? So when I click on this one, it will activate the main. Let's look at it. By the way, it's really is this one. It's really this one. When I click on it, it goes to the main page. It takes me to the main page indeed. Okay, so I'm going to go back, and we understood that one. The last one left, it's this one. How is this one being created? So let's look and see that. By the way, you see the sub-app toolbar. Oh, looks familiar. You see that? Sub-app, it's empty here. It's empty here because I didn't put anything, but I am going to use it. Where am I going to use it? Okay, anybody wants to help me? Deep billing, okay? Deep billing, it's the application. In deep billings, we have templates. We talked about this base, and now we want to go to a specific one. By the way, when we click on deep billings application, we're really going to this index, okay? Is that right? Everybody clear on that? When we go to the deep billings application, when we click here, then we go to the main. When we click on billings, see, pay attention, please. When we click on this one, let's go into the main page again. Let's go to the main page. Main page, main page. Where is the main page? Here's the home. Fair enough? And in here, I'm inheriting for the basement. Okay, what do we have in the basement? Let's look at that. Oh, beautiful. See, there's many buttons, exactly as we see here. There's a lot of buttons. The first one is billings. By the way, if you look here, the first one is billing. See that? And what does it say when you click on it? Go to the URL of the billings application. Okay, I'm going to go to the URL of the billing application. URL of the billing application is right here. Okay, so I go again. Okay, after I get there, go to the index. Okay, I'm going to go to the index. Here is the index. When I do Control B, it takes me to the function, and bingo, I get to the index function of billings. And that's really showing me the index template. Okay, let's find that index template. Let's go back to the billings. Billings, what is the index? Here it is. Let's double click on it. Here we got it, and beautiful. Look at that. What do we find here? That the sub app is putting another button. So we have 3 buttons now. One coming from the index, one coming from the base, the billings, and one coming from the base. Those are the 3 buttons. I hope this is a good review for you. Okay, please watch the video again if you missed something, but this is a very good review. And the beginning is very hard, you know, like you can ask the people in certificate too. Now they become to be expert, okay? You do it so many times, eventually you become to be expert. So I'm gonna close the base, and I'm gonna close this one. I don't care about that anymore. I don't care about the main. I don't care about the to-do. I want to focus on the deep billings. Okay, we understand now in the billings that we have 3 levels: the best man, the best the billings. Let me open it again. And the only things really here I'm using is just to add a button. After I added the button, I don't really care about this one anymore. This is really my concern. And the beautiful part is I'm adding a button for customer. And now we're starting what I wanted to do today. I click on billings, I get a customers. But I want, in addition, see, when I click on customers, it gives me this one. I want to be able to, when I go to here, I would like to see another button. So anybody want to help me out? Where should I add that button? Anyone from certificate one?
Belinda.
Belinda, what do you think? See, I want another button like customer next to it. Just tell me true or no. Can I copy this one? I would have two buttons, but they will be the same. I don't want customers, I want items. So I'm going to write here items. Is that right? By the way, if I go there now and refresh, you will see two. Hey, but the only thing is if I go to customer, it takes me there, I go back to here, I click here, I get a customer again. Hey, that mistake. Why does it take me to customer again? Because I didn't change this one. I should change this one. I want him to go to the billings, but I don't want him to go to the list of customers. I want him to go to the list of items. But I will have a problem. Anybody wants to guess what's problem? Mark? Just guess. What's the problem that I'm going to face? What this one says, when you click on it, go to the URL of the deep billings application. Okay, I'm going to go to the URLs. So Mark, look, what is the problem I'm going to face? Are you with me, Mark?
Yeah, I'm with you.
What is the problem? It tells me, go to the URLs of the deep billing and look for the list items. Okay, I'm going to look for the list items. I'm looking. I cannot find it. I see list customers, so it will give me an error, and it will be right, because I must add a link to the one that I'm linking from here. If I'm telling him go to here, he should find it, otherwise it will give me error. Let's try it. You'll see I get an error. Let's click it. Oh, I got an error. It says I can't find list items. He's right. So let's do and fix it. Okay, let's go and fix. Oh, see, billings, he doesn't like me because he's finding an error. So I'm gonna go step by step now and say, you know what? He's right. Let's add the list items like we did for customer. So here what we're going to do, like repeating the exercise we did for customer, we will do for items. Fair enough? And I'm going to call it list items. Now we will find it, but then he will complain again. He doesn't know what items is. I'm not going to send him to customer. I do want items. But items, it's a view. And items doesn't exist in the view. Because if I go to the view, I cannot find items. So the easiest way to do, be smart. Duplicate the stuff from customers. Because now I want to get the list of customers. So I'm going to go to the list. By the way, you can put it, the whole things in the bottom. I think I already have done delete, update, customer, create customers, data. Yeah, here we go, by the way. Let me delete it. I want to do it from scratch with you. Okay? I want to do it from scratch with you. Let's do the items just like the customer. Is that okay, Mark? And I'm going to change it to items. By the way, I will not get an error now. Why I don't get an error? Because I do have a view called items. It does something here that I don't want, but at least the link is good. I'm telling him, go to the billings URLs, find item list. He goes there, he find item list, that one referring him to the item. Oh, but hold it a second. You must bring it here. So let's write items here, okay? And see, it's not giving me an error. There's no line because items already exist in the view. I just made one. This should work, by the way. But see the funny things. Can you tell me what funny might be? See, I won't get an error. I do get items, I get customer. But see what happens when I click on items. Hey, I get the list of customers. That's not what I want. Is that right?
Yeah.
I want him to get a list of items, not customers. And why I'm getting the customers? Because I simply just copy those two lines. And they are really referring me to the customers. What I really want to get is items. And we have in the models, if you remember, we created a table for items. So I want to use this one this time and not the customers. So I'm going to use item. So here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to change this one to items. And what it really does, it brings all the rows from the item table. And of course, I'm not going to call it customers, I'm going to call it items. By the way, if I ask you in the exam, is this a Python variable? Yes, this is a Python variable. It's in Python. The whole thing is in Python, but I'm going to transfer this variable into the template. By the way, we'll create another template, of course. We will call it items because we need a special one for the items, item list. I will play with that in a second, but please pay attention. I'm transferring Python variable to be a template variable. In fact, in the Jinja language. So that's why many times I put underscore for myself so I don't get confused. And I do it this way. So this is Python. This is going to the template. But see, if I do that, it will complain. I will get an error. Why should I get an error? Anybody? Hey, by the way, I would not. I will not. My mistake. I already did a table like that. You want to do it from scratch, guys? How about I delete it and we'll get an error? Why not?
Yeah.
And then we'll get an error. Is that right? Am I right or not? I should get an error because if I go now, let's refresh. Let's go back to the billing. Let's click items. What happened? How come I didn't get an error? I should get an error, no? Items. Hey, let me check that here. Yeah, anybody can find that? No, the items is here. This is good. From the items, I go to, I have an item list, Control B. I go to here, I get all the items, and I have item list, and I just deleted it. I don't see item list. Anybody see item list? I don't. No? So why am I not getting an error? I should get an error. What are you saying, guys? Should I get an error or not? I think I should. Maybe it's caching. Let's see. I think I should get an error. Let's go to the billings. Let's put the mouse here. See customers. Put the mouse here. In both of them it says customers. You see that? Probably the error is here. So let's go and fix it. Let's go here and go to the billings base, and I have the main. I have the billings. Sorry, that's not here. How about the index? And this is fine. By the way, this says billings, list items. Okay, let's go to the list items. We'll find the error. Where is the list items? Here we go. And I have, hey, look at that. How about we change it to items? By the way, this is really shouldn't be the error. I shouldn't be fixing it, right? Item. Okay? But it shouldn't be really the error, but let's go and look at it now. Okay? Let's go and look at it. Refresh. Now when I put the mouse, this is good. Now this is good. Let's see what happened. Oh, I got an error. It can't really find that link. In fact, it's taking me here, but it can't find really the list. And that's what we said. We should get an error. To fix the error, do it step by step and really understand deeply. See what I recommend you do. So you really have a good understanding. Just make a stupid HTML. Call it item. How did I call that one? Item list, right? Item list or items. How did I call it? With a plural, I think it's plural, items. Bingo. But this is really a stupid template, has nothing. And I will write here just for my fun list of items. What I really did, I made a template. It doesn't extend anything, but it's a valid template. Let's say in the view, I'm asking the view of the items to go really to the items list. So I should only get an error now. If I refresh and go to the items, I should be doing good. Oh, you see, I just got my stupid template. That's already the template I want, but at least I understand what's happening. Everybody happy? I think this is a good break time to hear you guys. Hi guys, hi everyone.
Hi.
Is everybody happy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mark, are you happy? Fazio, are you happy? Patricia, are you happy? Belinda?
Yes.
Magda?
I have a question, Mr.
Sure, go ahead. I'm listening.
I have a,
Yes. I think you are breaking. Your connection is not very good. You want to write it in the chat? Why don't you write your question in the chat? Because it's very hard for me to hear you.
in the
Go ahead, write it in the chat. I will see it.
URL patterns, URLs are in order or not, as long as the URL is there.
Fezo, sweetie, you are breaking. I can't hear you. Can you write it in the chat? So I see
I
your
was
question.
saying, the URL patterns, in the URL pattern, does it matter if those
I can't hear you, Fezo. I'm sorry. Can you write the question in the chat?
yes, I've written it, it's there in the chat.
Please do. I cannot, yeah. Can you write the question in the chat, please?
Yes, I've written it.
Okay. No, I don't see it. Why? Anybody see the question?
No.
I don't see it either, sweetie. I don't see it.
There, so before you type,
Did anyone hear the question?
No.
He was talking of the URL pattern.
The URL pattern, patterns.
Yes.
Okay, the URL is, if you look at the
I
URL,
was asking if it matters whether they're in order or it doesn't matter. You
the
can
order, theoretically not, practically it does. When you do a sophisticated stuff, sometimes you rather to put this one in the end, okay? Because you might capture that. There's very rare situations that you will need to do that. The order is 99% is not important, although I faced at least a couple times that I had to make sure the order is good. We haven't dealt with that here. Many times when this one happened, you put this one before one that doesn't have it, if it has the same name. But let's leave it for another time. Theoretically for you now, the order doesn't matter, okay? Second, about the ordering, if you look at the index, it's very important to write it in this kind of a bracket. You write the word URL, you put this one in quotation, and here you write the application and the name of the URL. That one correspond to the list customer. It does not respond to this one, it responds to this one. Make sure it's the name which is important, not what you write here. It will convert it to this one, but when you do the link, always make sure you use the name. I hope that answered the question.
Yes, it does.
Thank you, I'm glad. It was hard really to hear you before, I apologize. It's probably the connections. Okay, beautiful. Now, let's go back. And we don't really want a page like that. We want it to look like the page that we had for the customer. A smart way to do it, as you know me by now, I like to copy for myself. So I'm going to open this one. I'm going to copy for myself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the whole page here, Control A, copy it, and just copy it right to the index. Control A, no, not the index, sorry, to the items. Okay, and replace this stupid page. Okay, this was just for testing. Now, when I put it here, I will go step by step and make sure that I'm doing it right. I do want to extend the page from the base, but the title, I wanted to say items, correct? Is everybody with me?
Yes.
Yeah.
I want this page to look like just the one for the customers. When I click on customers, I will get this one. I want when I click on that, by the way, now it will get me errors. That's why I'm not clicking on it. But I want it to look the same. Just in the top, it will say create new item. It will give me item number, item name, view, update. This one all will be the same. But here I will have the item names. So let's do it. Everyone will see customer will write item and we understand what it is. Okay. Moreover, remind you, when I click on customers, I see customer on the top. It will say items now. Why it will say items? Because I changed that one to items. Okay. This one I'm going to keep because I want to be able to go back to the application. So this one I don't see a reason to change. And then we have the body. By the way, see in the top, we put in the title. Hey, where is this title coming from? Remind you, this is coming from the items. What did we put in the A? There's no title here. So if I don't have any title, this is a useless tag. In fact, this is really useless. Let's use it. Let's put a title. Don't be afraid. I'm going to put title. I'm going to write title underscore. Remember, this is a Python. And I will write some title here. A list of our items. That will be the title. Now I want to transfer it. By the way, I'm transferring the items which is coming from the database. In addition, I want to transfer also the title, so I can make a comma. I must put parentheses, and I will call it item without the underscore, and I'm linking it to the Python with the underscore. Fair enough? So this is going to be, by the way, sorry, my mistake. I screwed up. I should really call here item. Sorry, no, title. You should fix my mistakes. I always make mistakes. You see, title. And I'm transferring this title to the template. And inside the template, it will be called title. So when I go here, I am really going to put it on the top here, okay? And then there will be, by the way, there is create no custom, there will be a button. Okay, this is a button, but this one is a title. By the way, how about we put it in H1? If we put it in H1, it will be a really big title. And maybe that's what we want. That will be maybe nicer, okay? So we just added the title to the top. This will be a button to create a new, we don't want customer, we want to create item, is that right?
Right.
I change what it will say on the title, on there. By the way, this one gonna give me a hard time. You know what, for now, just to see that the page working, and we'll come back to that. And please feel comfortable. When I remove that, I will not get an error. If I leave it there, I will get an error. Put a hash. Hash means do nothing. When I click on this button, do nothing. The reason I'm doing it so I won't get an error, and later on I will link it to another view. Okay? Okay. That will be the button. By the way, this will be exactly like this button, but it will say create new item. When I click on it, nothing will happen because I removed the functionality of it. Okay? I'm going to remove the functionality of all those buttons too, but I want to go over how do we make a table. And that's one you should know. Okay? Next semester, we talk about it much more, but for now, I would like you to know. By the way, the top part, here it's out with a table. And here we have a number, but we don't want to put customer name. We want to put item name. That will be in the title. By the way, this is a row of the title. This is really right. We're going to be on the top. So I'm going to change this one to item name. I'm going to keep the rest the same. I'm not going to touch them. So the first row will be the same, just this one will say item name. Here we go. Number, item name, view, update, and update. This is the header of the table. Now I'm going to the body of the table and I'm doing a loop. But this time, I'm not going to use customer. I'm going to use item in items. Remember, I transfer the items from the view. If you look at the view, here I'm transferring items. I have a variable called items, which is all the record in the table. This is all the record in the table. And I'm going to do a loop. A loop means go over every row in the table. That's what we're doing here. So every row, I am going to put the item number. I can change that one to be item number. And let's say, by the way, best way to do is really go and check the model. How did we call it? Yeah, we call it item number and then item name. Very good. Good choice. So it will be item number. Fair enough. And here will be item. By the way, pay attention. For every item in items. So this is going to go over every item. When he's going over item, he's taking the item, he's using his item number and his item name. Item name. This one I don't really need because I don't have last name for an item. And you can see in the model, we have those two. Item number, item name. That's what I'm using. Okay? Beautiful. So I have this one, I have this one. I have a view. Those are all buttons. I leave it to you as an exercise to go and study. But one thing I'm going to remove. I don't want to get an error. I will go over that in a minute. By the way, I went over that when I did the customers. It will be the same. I'm just going to remove everything so I don't get an error. And we finally get a table. Those buttons will not do anything because I destroyed their functionality. Okay? The functionality is in the href. Now I put a hash, means do nothing when I click on it. So I get several rows, and each one of them I will have those buttons, but I'm not going to do anything. I will see the number of the item, I will see the name, but I will not be able to view or update or delete because I destroyed the functionality. This is it. This is the end of, so we have a nice loop. Daniel can tell you how much we used it when we built it, and Jeremiah and Brenda, when we did the web page for the Fab House Africa, we used a lot of loops. Very important, extremely important. So let's look at it now. We shouldn't get an error. If we get an error, we'll fix it. Let's go back to the billings and go into the items. Oh, beautiful. You see, list of our items. Who want to tell me how did I get that one? Anyone? Volunteer. Don't be afraid, please. Just guess, what the heck. So you'll be wrong, so what? As I said, I'm always wrong. Anybody want to help me? How did I get that title there? What is it on the template?
It's up.
Anybody see it? Only certificate one.
Up. H1.
Certificate one, who is it? Who is talking? Does anyone see it here? I'm giving you a hint, it's in this part. Okay, I'll make the circle smaller. It's in this part. It's in this part. Is this the one? Is it this one? Which one is it? How did we got this title here? Anybody? Anybody? Certificate here also. How did we got the title here?
There.
It is that, exactly right. And where this one came from? It comes from the view. In the view, I created a title underscore in Python, called it list of our items. This one I transferred to the template through the dictionary. But in the template, I called it title. So I just put a text in a variable in Python, and I transfer the text to the variable in the template called title. That's why I used it. When I use it, I must use a double bracket. This is a Ginger language. This one created already this one. So if anybody has any doubt, let me just write my name there too. And you will see that it will change automatically. All what I have to do is go to the view. And let me write it Amos. I should say also Amos in the end now. No surprise. Let me just refresh the page. Okay. I did already. Let's go here, refresh, and you see errors. Now I convinced you how it really got there. Okay? Very good. Let me remove it. And that's a really good practice to do that. In the future, we'll see more examples in which we use only databases. Okay, for now, it's really a nice way to transfer a variable. Beautiful. One more questions. What do I do? Where did I write the header of the table? Anybody? Certificate 1, I want to hear you. Don't be afraid. Where is the header? It's hidden. This is the header of the table. Can I say that this one creating this tab? Can I or I cannot? Is that right? This one, it's done by what? By this line. Correct? TR means a new line. By the way, this just make it a different color. Why it doesn't like me? Why it doesn't put a light blue? Put a green there, didn't it? I think it's because of the TH. So if I would change this one to TD, it probably would change it. TD is just a general, but TH probably has a styling in it. So probably if I do that, it will be blue now. Nothing. It didn't like me. Why it doesn't like me? I just removed them, but I want, no, this is the class. The hell is it? I tell you what I will do. I will remove, no, hold a second. It just say class light blue. Tell you what I would do, just for fun. This is styling. Next semester we'll talk about it. Style equal. How do I spell background? Background color, and let's put it blue or dark blue. I hope I did it right. Did I do it right, guys? Or did I make a mistake? Let's see.
You did it right.
That's it. Yeah, oh wow. But I don't say anything now. What do you do now? If you're getting this one, you most likely would like to change the color of this one to be white. So I can do the same thing, style, and we'll do next semester. And we'll do color. Probably white would be nice. White will work. We'll do one and then we'll see for the rest. Refresh. You see you change that to a white. That's pretty cool. Just give you a motivation that you can really change everything to a different color. So let's do all of them. And all of them will be white color. That's pretty cool. Just give them a little, don't be afraid. If you get it wrong, so what? Big deal. You fix it eventually. Okay, all the title, nice title. Who makes those rows? Who makes those rows? Let's see. I get 3 rows. By the way, if I don't have a loop, see, I'll take the loop out. I'll get an error first of all. This one will give me an error. Okay, so I'm gonna remove it too. I'm gonna remove it so I don't get an error. See how I'm destroying everything and I'm not afraid. So what can happen? Nothing. Okay, and here I'm going to remove the for loop altogether. How many rows will I get now? If I refresh this page, how many rows do I get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What do you think? I don't have a for loop. If I don't have a for loop, there will be only 1 row. See, it's starting with the TR, and then that's it, only once. All the rest are just, all of those really, I can move them to the right a little bit. These are the columns of the rows. But there's only one row. No loop. I should really get a stupid row, which has no name. By the way, I didn't delete it the right way. Had the button, but those buttons do nothing. So I really should put it back, the loop. When I put the loop back, okay, you can see it will loop as many rows in the table. How do I know how many rows there are? By the way, there must be 3 because I'm getting 3 rows. 1, 2, 3. By the way, if you do that and go to the admin. Go to the admin. You already should know that. And I will ask you in the exam. If I go here to the admin, I will see the table. Where's the table of the items? Here it is. How many rows do I have? I have 3. Exactly. So it's really pulling the data from this table. That's why it says 3 rows. It's looping 3 times. And each one of them is putting the name of the item and make those buttons. So he's doing good at this row. By the way, I will just move it a little bit so it will convince you. This is really nothing but 1 row, which I'm looping 3 times. What I'm doing in the first column, I'm putting the number of the item in the name. That's why we're getting here the number and the item. Fair enough? Now, those buttons do nothing. The reason I did it because I didn't want to get an error. Now I'm going to fix it. How do I fix it? Anybody wants to help? The best way is, as you know me, I always love to copy for myself. So I'm going to deal first with this one. I destroyed the functionality by putting a hash here. So I'm going to go to the customer list. Remember, we have something very similar. So I'm going to copy it and then understand what I'm copying. I do it all the time. Take my word for it. I'm changing this one. Okay? And I'm going to tell him when you click create, but don't create customer, create item. And if I leave it this way, I will get an error because this function doesn't exist. So what do we do now? Again, anybody? Where do I need to go? Go to the URL of the billing application. Is that right? Mildred, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, and there I should make a new row called create item. I don't have create item here. I do have create customer, and you know me by now. I always love to copy for myself. So I'm going to copy it to here and just change everything instead of customer to be item. And that should work. Eventually, I'm going to change everything from customer to item. The symmetry, it's really helping me big time. But again, I will get an error because this is supposed to link me to a function in the view, but that function doesn't exist. So I must go to the view and create one like that. And by the way, create customer is right here. You see that? So I'm doing the same trick. Okay, I'm cheating. I love to cheat, my favorite. I'm copying the same things. And, just going here, change the word customer to item. Now I have a valid function. What it does inside, I will fix in a minute. But for now, at least, I have a function called create item. Fair enough so far? By the way, hey, my surprise, I have here create customer. No, that's fine. Okay, and I would like now to put this one in the link. Yeah, that's why we created it. Create item now exists. If I go here, I do comma, create, I'll start typing, it will show me, and it's there. It should work. And the only problem is it will create a new customer, it will not create a new item. Anybody can tell me why? See, this one, what does it do? Is really creating a customer, is not creating an item. Because I just copied this one from here. I should really fix it. And how do I fix it? Anybody want to help? One more time. We'll do the whole process again. We have items list. I click on create new item. When I create on create new item, it goes to create item. I go to the create item and I go to the URL. In the URL, I added this one. I added it here too, and that takes me to the view. In the view, I do have create, but here I need to do something. Definitely not customer. I must have item because I want to add the new one to the item. Fair enough. And this one I will call item just for consistency. Okay. This is the new item I'm going to create. There is no such a thing as first name in the item. We know it's item name. Remember? If you look at the model, in the item, we have only item name. We do not have first name. It doesn't make any sense to have such a things. Okay? And the rest is not relevant because we don't have really any. But this one is weird to me. This one I don't understand. By the way, this really should be item. But I don't really understand it. By the way, this one I also do not understand. And I will explain in a minute. I explained last time with the customer. I'll explain again. I just changed everything to item. And here, data entry customer, I'm going to put here data entry items. Hey, I will get an error. This one doesn't exist. By the way, I did that stuff, but I didn't explain. I will explain in a minute, okay? Forget about this part for now. I will explain. This one is creating item, and then you redirect it to somewhere. And I'm gonna fix this one as well and explain it. That's a hard one. But for now, I'm concerned that even if this one will work, this one will give me an error because I don't have a template called data entry items. So as you know me, I always copy from myself. I look for data entry customer and copy this template and change it accordingly. Everybody with me? So this one I'm going to change to items. Okay, the only problem is this one, it's designed for customers. Okay, let's see what we have here. We do have billings extending body of the body, that makes sense. We have, oh, this one doesn't make sense. We need item name, is that right? Everywhere I see something, I will change this to item. It will open a label. By the way, the input is very important. Input is where I will put the item name. And here I'm going to change the name also to item name. See how easy it is to copy for myself. Enter item name. And I'm done. In fact, I don't have last name. So this is, I don't care about this one. By the way, this is a very simple form that allows me, by the way, it says here a form. That I require you to know. This very simple template has really a simple form in which I will type in it the name of the item. You must know that. We will learn in the next certificate how we do it with Ajax, a little more sophisticated. I usually don't use that one. This one, don't ask why, but you must put it there inside the form. If you leave the action open, it goes to the same view it was created by. What do I mean by date? Remember, this template will be the template data entry items will be called here. See that? So this one is being called by create item. So when create item function is called, this is being sent to the browser. Then when somebody gets this page, it gets a little form. It will fill up the name of the item, and we'll see it in a minute. And then it has a button. This is, by the way, a button. Although it says input, it's a button. How do I know it's a button? Because it says type submit. Type submit, it's very special input. It will make it look like a button. When you click on it, it's going to send this data, the data of the item by the item name is going to send back to the same function. And when I get it back, it's checking if I got it under the method post. And if you look here carefully, you see we call that form method post. So when I click on the submit button, I'm really sending this information back to the function, and I'm telling the function the method I'm using is post. Why am I making it post? Because it is a, please don't do that again, okay? It would be embarrassing if I would tell who does it. Please don't do that, thank you, okay? So the key point is really very important. The method is post, must be. That will send whatever data, in this case, we're only transferring the name of the item. When I get that in a method of post, then it will do this one. And by the way, how do I get the name I typed in? By the way, this is an error. No, sorry, this is good. This goes to here, sorry, it goes to the post here. It gets me the item name. When I get the item name, I create an item with this name. This is a very hard one. I take the name of the table. There is something called objects. It's a very special objects of the table. It has a very special function called create. It creates a new row and put as the item name whatever I typed in the form. Okay, now that I have the item, in fact, I'm not using it here. In fact, I don't really have to write it here. I could have wrote it just like that, would be just fine. Okay? But I like to write it this way, so I know that I created an item. It won't hurt anybody. But I do really use it, and I do have to have it. If the only things I'm concerned is about creating it, that it's fine. But what I want this one to do, see, we are going to be, by the way, I can really open it now because it should work. Let me refresh. When I click on create item, see what happened. I'm getting this form. It says item name, and here it says me enter a name, and I have a submit button. Hey, what is this form? This form, it really is this form. This is the form we just created. This nice form, very simple form. We have a label that says item name. You see that? Everybody see that? That's the label. This label is right here, this one. This is the label. Everybody see that?
Yes.
And then a place to type. How do I create a place to type? It's just simply here. This is this one. And then I'm keeping a little space, making a new row to put the button. This is the button. Okay, by the way, the placeholder, what it does, it tells, put something in, telling you enter an item. That's the placeholder. By the way, one more thing. I put required. If you don't type anything, it will give you an error. You have to put something there. Otherwise, it will give you an error. If you click the submit button, it will give you an error. By the way, you can see the value that I put here. It's exactly what it's written on. By the way, let's write capital D. Capital D, it will look better. Okay? And this is just giving a style of the class. Okay? Like making the button look nicer. Okay? If I refresh, you'll see a capital D now. See capital D. So I must enter something. So let's put here a mini computer with Ubuntu. Fair enough? And when I click submit, what's going to happen? Anybody? When I click submit, what's going to happen is using a post. If it's using the post, it's going to send this data back to the view that gave me this template. That means it's going back to this view. When it gets back, I'm checking if really I got it back. I check if the method is paused. If the method is paused, oh, I know that somebody have sent me data. I'm taking the data in this way, request.post, and the name of the input, the name of the input. You see that? Item name. Whatever I type here, that carries the value I typed in here. Whatever I typed here, it's inside this variable item name. And when I get to the view, it goes to here. So I'm taking the value and putting it in the item name of the table. So the table create a new row with the name, whatever I typed inside. Now that I have this one, okay. By the way, if I remove this one, okay, if I remove this row, what will happen is I will get the cell form empty, but that's not what I want. I want to go back. I want to go back to the list of items. How do I go back to the list of items? And that's the last things I will do today. We'll continue next time, okay? This is this part. This is a little hard, really hard. I had a hard time studying it when I studied it. It really is hard. See, Python have created a new row called item in the table item. And this item I need to have a function for him called get absolute URL, a very common function. What does it do? That's a little hard, with that we'll finish. If you see there is a functions like that here, you see that? Everybody see there is a function like that?
Yes.
Very confusing function. Very, very confusing. Honestly, it's hard to understand. I try to explain it easily. What this one says, when I call this function, please go to the D billings application, to the URLs, okay? Go to the URLs and go to this function. Very similar to what we do when we go here, not this one. They have the base. Let me open the base again. Remember here when we do URL, the name of the application and the function, here we can do the same things, but a little different, slightly different. This is Python, remember. It's inside Python. So there's a function called reverse. Find me how to get there. That's good enough. Just put the name reverse and go to this application to this URL. And that one will lead me to a view, and that view will take me somewhere else. But the special things I want you to do, when you're going to here, please transfer the primary key of that item. That's the ID of the item. When we're creating here an item, behind the screen in the tab, there will be an ID. So I would like that when I call this function, the item, I'm calling his function, what he's going to do in this function is going to call this function in the URLs, and he's transferring it is primary key. Now, what's the magic? When I go to the URL, I'm looking for a function detail item. Hey, I don't have that. I will get an error. Detail item, let's see, sorry, I wanted this one. I don't have it. So you know me, what do? I copy. Detail customer, I take detail customer, copy it to here, and I'm gonna change everywhere it says customer to item. That's not easy stuff, by the way. This is the primary key, is expecting primary key. And this one, I'm going to change to item detail. Hey, but I don't have it. My God, I'm totally lost. And now this one, I must call it detail item. It will get here, but it will get stuck. Why it will get stuck? Because I don't have this one. See, it has a line there. So I must bring it, but it doesn't exist. So let's go back to the view. I go to the customer and look for that function. Anybody see detail customer? And as you know me, I love copying for myself. Detail customer, here, customer detail. You see that? I'm gonna copy for myself. So I'm gonna make it here. And I'm going to create item detail. This is a nightmare, isn't it? Okay, at least, I don't know about this one, we'll fix it in a minute. What I really care, how do I get that one? That one, that's what I'm looking in the URL. Now, I can put it, this is really what I'm looking for. And this is exist already. So now, it would be nice to me. Item detail, here it is. So getting from here to here will be good. From here to here will be good. From here to the view will be good. But what he's going to show me is going to show me detail of customers. That's not what I want. I want to get items detail. Again, I don't have it. So what Amos is going to do? Copy from himself. By the way, this one I didn't cover, I'll cover next time. This is called detail view. It's not a function, you see, it's a class. It's not a function. I'm just going to put the item table and the magic will be automatic. Okay? And here, I'm just going to call it item. And as you know me, since I don't have this one, I'm going to copy it from the customer. Where's the customer? They have that here. Customer details, customers. Anybody see customers detail?
Yes.
Up, where?
The fourth one.
Yeah, here we go. Let's copy. You know that I like to copy for myself. And I do paste. It makes my life easier. Why it doesn't allow me?
You didn't change it.
So you're right. I'm getting tired, you can tell. Fast. And what do I want to call it? Items. Correct? You're right, thank you. Items. Bingo, it's open. And again, as you know, I will change again, view item, customer, I will call it item. Okay, it will extend the billings base, that's okay, that's okay. Customer information, no, this is not customer information, it is what? Items. By the way, here, it's already, this one we have, it exists. So when I click back to, I can do back to item list. And this one, the only things I need to change, item list items. Is that the way we call it, by the way? I don't think so. List items. How do we call it? It's going to view in the URL. Make sure that we call it the right way. How do we call it? Items, list items. Yes, list items. So I'm okay. List items. That's fine. This one, by the way, it already exists, so I don't have to worry about it. They will say items, nice title, and next to that in parentheses, it will allow me to click and I will go back to the list. Okay, good. What happened in the table? I don't care, this is just making a nice table. I don't really need a first name, I need a item name. And definitely here we need an item. I'm done. Wow. Let me close it and that should work now. After all that. So, okay, I'm gonna click and see, I couldn't really click up to now. If I click, I will get an error. Let me just make sure that this one refreshed itself. I think it did. If I click now, it will work, it should work. Click, oh, an error. Detail item not found. Detail item, I misspelled item. You see that?
Yes.
Terrible. Why you didn't fix my errors? I told you I always make errors. Where is it? Thank God. Help me, God. Item, where is it? Item, what was the error? It says detail items. Reverse. I think it's inside the model. In the model, here we go. I made a mistake. That should be an E. It doesn't like me. It will fix. Let's restart it. Let's go here. Refresh. It will ask me. And I'll there, yeah, continue. By the way, we'll create two of them. It will continue. It brought me to the view page. And now when I click on this one, I should go back to the list. And bingo, I told you would do it twice. I know that because you remember, the delete doesn't work. We'll do it next time. When I click on view, it should really work. By the way, I can make view work, update view work. Okay, let's create another one. Let's create a supercomputer, supercomputer. Now I click submit data. I'm getting to this page. By the way, you will see billings, items, and the number. This is really, can I change it here? No, it's only the view. So I go back. So which button I can do immediately? It's this button. Anybody want to help me with that? We'll finish. By the way, even the delete I can do, but the delete we'll do next time. Okay, I'll do the view quickly and we talk about it next time again. Okay, let's go back to the items list. Where is items list? Here we go. And let me copy myself. And let's go to the view. The view should work because in here, I need to change it here. And by the way, what am I supposed to write here? This is not a create item. I have already in the URLs, if you remember, I just added the detailed view, detailed items. Is that right? I want to link it to here, but I will need to put the primary key. That's the only sophistication here. So I'm going to put this one here, detail item, and I must put here also the number. Otherwise, you won't know the primary key. So I can use item dot ID, or PK will do the same things. Let's see if it works. And next time I will explain. I'm getting ready. My voice is killing me. I'm refreshing. It didn't like me. Why it didn't like me? Yeah, it says it didn't like me. So let's see what am I supposed to do. It should work. What do we have? We have item, don't we? Yeah, we do have item. How
You're
many-
having two codes.
You're having two.
What did I forget?
Yeah, there are two codes after.
A PK maybe I need, or what? I have a double quotation, you're right. Maybe it should work. I have double quotation here. Thank you. Good, 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 good. Very good. Okay, refresh. And it should, why it doesn't like me now? What the arrow?
You have one
The arrow is in the view. Why I'm getting this in the view? How about I put a PK here? Let's see, that would be nice. I think it should be PK. I'm not sure. Here's the supercomputer. But let's click on view. It works. Can go back. It works. View is working. Good. Okay, I will explain it again next time. But please, for next meeting, which we have on Sunday, I would like you guys, the one in certificate two, everyone go over that with his student. Okay? This is hard, guys. Okay? Remember
That's
how
right.
hard it was for you last semester. So
That's true.
please do go with your student. It is hard, okay? And no surprise, it will be hard for them. You see, it's really a lot to follow. So please do go over that. On Sunday, I will finish, and then I will introduce the game store, okay? But I'm
Okay.
expecting, and then we'll have the exam the following Wednesday. So by Wednesday, there will be, everybody should be ready. Michael, you will start
Yes.
with giving them the written exam. Okay, you print
Okay.
it out and you give it to them to do. I don't know, some of them will not be able to. You'll have to send it to them, like Fazio and Mark. You can send it to them. I trust them not to cheat. There's no reason to cheat, really.
Okay.
The objective of the test is not to fail you. It's to make you a better student. So
That's true.
that's the way you should view it, okay? So really appreciate Michael and all the other team have really made a nice written exam. Do that. We'll give you half an hour, I don't know how long, Michael, you decide, guys. And after that, I will give the exam, each one of you, and you will see that my objective in the oral exam is to help you, to make sure you are on top of things. If you are not, I will advise you to review and then I will test you again. Okay? So
Okay.
there is no reason here to be afraid. We only want to help you to study. Okay? Good. So let's break now for 10 minutes or 5 minutes and then we assemble with certificate two. I will make it short
Okay.
with certificate two today.
Okay.
My thought, just give me 5 minutes even just to make drink something, okay?
Okay. It's
So
all
see
right
you
with
in a
me.
bit. Thank you, guys.
Okay.
Have a good one. Good luck. No.